Oh, it always seems like an easy project, and then when I start doing it, I'm like, well, I don't have enough time for this, but I'm gonna do it. Got a couple hours to work on this thing. Let's give her a shot. Oh. So what I'm gonna do now is pull this thing around. Let's do this. I'm gonna see if I can get the ramps to be fixed on these tubes. So I've got to pound these tubes out. I don't know how well that's gonna go. I'm pretty sure these are seized up in there. And then I'm gonna try to put some DOM on here, lay the ramps on there, and then weld the ramps on. The ramps can fold up. I'm gonna put some angle iron to cover up all these gaps. It'll also be like, you know, a last ditch effort to keep something from rolling aft, and then we'll see how the ramps go on there. I don't think they're going to be able to rotate very far forward. Hopefully they'll just stay up, but if they do need something to rest on while they're up, that angle iron could work for that too. So I've gone back and forth on whether or not I was going to do this mod. After having to wear gloves to undo the chain binder and lift up these heavy ramps because they were so hot from sitting in the sun, I decided to go for it. So instead of starting from scratch, I decided to use what the trailer currently supports in the rear, plus whatever scrap metal I have laying around. The only thing I should have to purchase for this mod is the stowage pins at the end. I was really excited to use the new bandsaw setup from Swag Off-Road. They had a sale, so I finally bought one of these. I've been wanting one for years. Right when I went to use it for the first time, it turns out the blade was shot from cutting a bunch of stuff off an axle earlier, and it needed to be replaced. I didn't have the time to go get one at the moment, so I used the angle grinder, which is not my favorite and definitely doesn't give the cleanest cut. But after that, I ran to the store and grabbed some new bandsaw blades and tried it out. It's fantastic. Very precise cuts. Metal parts aren't piping hot afterwards, not throwing sparks everywhere, and the cleanup is minimal, so I highly recommend these. Right, so here's the update. This is the latest on the trailer. Since finishing everything and the building portion of this video, I've used this trailer 2 times. Just taking the Jeep out by itself. I don't have any footage of it, but I parked the Jeep up on the trailer about as far forward as I could get it, just because the trailer balance tows the best that way, and it levels out the trailer and makes sure there's equal weight on the tires, which is what I was shooting for. So I have the Jeep pretty much all the way up here, and then this trailer always had these, you just never saw them, but I had some going there, and then I had my pocket inserts in the back right here. It just towed beautifully. It's just such an easy setup now. I really enjoy it. The other time, just yesterday actually, I had cut so much brush and branches off of my front yard trees and bushes that I had to use this to go to the landfill and, you know, recycle all that stuff. So just covered this entire deck with it, which is probably most of the reason why it's all dirty like this. These ramps really helped out in the back because I was able to just flip those down and like pull all the brush off in once, so it made it pretty easy. But as you can see, the trailer is absolutely filthy. Why did that happen? It's a combination of things. Part of it is that when I was building these ramps and the way they hinge, it was shooting sparks and hot metal out all over the wood, so that made it pretty dirty. I think after that, it just kind of started to absorb all the dirt, and you can see the tire tracks on there. Over there got really dirty because that's where I did a bunch of cutting. You can see the further back you go, the dirtier it is. All right, so the deck staining, loved it. Cool process. If you're like me, you notice these little things, and this to me isn't so little, but I really rushed the drilling of all of these deck screws. It was just a huge pain in the butt. Getting the screws to go through on their own was very difficult because I have a wing on there. When I drilled a pilot hole through the metal, ground down those wings that were on the screws, it ended up going in a lot easier after that. But it was so hot outside, it was taking so long that I just kind of rushed it to get done with it. And you can see this is the last screw for this part, and I don't know what that is, like a little over 2 feet. And so these have started to warp a little bit and they're sitting up. Middle one has a nice bow to it. And then you can see right here, this part's up. So like a lot of these, I just got to put the screws in, and you could see the wood down there. These have really shrank. When I first put these in there, it was like they wouldn't fit at all, you know. And this board, the middle ones on each side is actually ripped down the whole length, and I'm fine with that. I knew they were gonna shrink, but they were like pressure fitted before. I had to like put them up at an angle and stand on them to get them going in. So them shrinking like they did is totally cool. The problem is a couple of them have twisted really bad, and I think the deck screws would work with most of it. This one over here has twisted so bad, I was just gonna wait for another rain, because when these boards get wet, they'll kind of flatten out again. But this one, it's like, oh man, I think I would have to put like some bolts in here to tighten it down. So I don't know if I'll do that. I'm gonna try to get them soaked and just see if I can get them back in position. You know, we'll see. I got a couple ideas on how I can do that. Really nice to be able to have these gold wings right here. I got the tarp from the tow to the landfill yesterday, but I'm just standing on the ground. I can access this. I've been keeping all my straps in here, and then all the extra stuff on the other side, like chain binders, shoring for the tongue, any kind of trailer supplies on that side, and then anything specific to the truck in my toolbox up there. Been really keeping an eye on these folding ramps. You know, just there's so much leverage with these because they're so tall, and then on top of that, they're very heavy. I mean, it's a workout just bringing these down. I'm like holding on to all of these steps and then gently lowering it to the ground. The way I design these, they're resting on the trailer itself. They're resting on this angle iron. So that's absorbing all the weight. And then this pin setup is 1/4 inch wall DOM and then a 1 inch pin. And I mean, that is extremely strong, but still it's all the way down, pivot point right there. And this is what they're doing when it's driving around. They're wiggling like this, you know. And I think over time that could possibly break some welds. So I'm just gonna keep checking them and hope that that doesn't happen. The alternative is what most people do. They'll do like a pin right here, and then it goes down to like a pin down here, and there's a big bar that does it, which is much stronger. I just didn't want to have to deal with it. This is really easy because you just pull this pin out, pull the big pin out, and then you can lower them to the ground. I think that's easier to do, especially to stow them, than to try to get this lined up and then, you know, going back down there. But we'll see. We'll see how these last. The next mod is to move those trailer axles back. I might do the tandem jacks before that, just because if I move these axles back, now I've got additional weight that this single jack is supporting, and I like nothing about this setup. This whole thing sucks, and you know, this thing is just beat to hell. I don't even take the pin out of there. Yeah, it's just one jack. It's super old, doesn't work very well. So what I'm planning on doing is cleaning all this up, cutting. We'll box this whole thing in, and then this is all gonna get cut off, and I'm gonna have like a 2x6 quarter wall that goes down here for some triangulation, just to support the neck laterally. Off of this right here, we'll have tandem jacks. There'll be 2 jacks, brand new ones that work well, and then I'll find a new way to box all of this in. Yeah, you know, now I'm talking through it, I think that is the priority. Fix this neck more, and then move the tandem axles back. Once we get there, gonna build a deck On the neck, it's gonna mirror this. It's gonna be very similar to this. Then we'll have 2 more ramps like those, except they're gonna be loose and they will just come up here at like a 45-degree angle. So that way we can park 1 vehicle axle on top of the deck on the neck, and then we'll have 1 vehicle down here. With the axles moved back, it should be a good balance between the dually and the trailer. So that is it for this video, guys. That was a ton of work, and it's hot as hell out there. It's still hot right now. We're not done yet. Got to get this thing finished up, because hopefully when my work settles down, we are going to have a ton of towing. And I'm really looking forward to having my Jeep and the Samurai, or my Jeep and someone else's rig on here, and, you know, consolidate, because with the fuel prices and sometimes just a limited parking at the trail, it'd be nice to just do this together, you know. Plus 3-hour tow or something. Hey, it's fun to go do that with a buddy instead of being by yourself. Well, if you guys got any feedback for me, let me know. I'm sure there's a lot of things you would have done differently. Someone else watching this video might get, you know, some tips from you that could help them. So show me what you got. Put it down in the comments. If you like watching just regular blue collar dudes work on their stuff, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm always doing mods to the dually, trailer, Jeep, Samurai, all my equipment that I use. It's fun, and I enjoy sharing it with you guys. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.